Welcome back, film bugs, to another thrilling dive into the world of classic Filipino cinema. I'm your host, Lila Filmington.
And I'm Lil Jimmy. Today we're tackling the 1986 Pinoy action classic, Kamagong. I remember watching this when I was younger.
Jimmy, 1986 was almost 40 years ago. You should technically be, dead.
Life's full of mysteries, Lila. Anyway, I was so hyped after watching it back in the day, I grabbed some sticks, aka my Kamagongs, and went to town on a piece of wood in the backyard, like I was Lito Lapid himself.
While singing that banger theme music, Ako'y Magwawagi, right?
Of course. There it is. Anyway, let's get some background before diving into the recap.
Directed by Carlo J. Caparas, Kamagong is based on one of his comic books, like Panday. Written by Caparas, the Villanueva brothers, Rene and Rudamin. The film stars Lito Lapid, J.C. Bonnin, Dencio Padilla, Jaime Fabregas, Ruel Vernal, Mia Pratts, and the legendary Eddie Garcia. Fun fact, in 2018, an animated series adaptation was in the works, but COVID happened, and now its status is mysterious.
The recap.
We start on a scenic hilltop. Title card. Where villagers gather for an Arnis duel. For the uninitiated, Arnis, aka Kali or Eskrima, is the Philippines' national martial art. The match is between Maestro Sutero's students, Emilio Salgado, Julio Diaz, and Lorenzo Montero, Ruel Vernal. Lorenzo, the human equivalent of a bad sportsmanship PSA, cheats and throws Emilio off a cliff. Classic villain move.
Cue tragic moment. Emilio's brother, Ariel, J.C. Bonnin, holds his lifeless body and vows revenge, while his lover, Tazia, issues a dramatic "you're next" threat to Lorenzo.
You are next.
Meanwhile, Ariel vents by aggressively assaulting a banana tree, while Manuel, Lito Lapid, stands nearby, contemplating life in his signature calm manner.
At Emilio's wake, Tazia rants about how the villagers care more about Arnis than, justice. The elders decide that revenge should be served through an official duel because, hey, Arnis solves everything.
Manuel convinces Maestro Sutero to train Ariel. But first, Ariel must sniff the Arnis. No explanation. Just sniff.
Maybe it's a secret Filipino martial arts tradition?
Just kidding. Amuin, not amoyin. Which means tame the Arnis, not smell the Arnis. Ariel struggles, nearly takes Dencio Padilla's nose off, and fails the all-important fly like a hawk, land like a dried leaf move. He needs 10 or 12 full moons to master it, or simply stating, non-philosophically, a year. Manuel, meanwhile, does it flawlessly, while wearing tight jeans and boots.
Men in boots.
Because 80s fashion never takes a break. Training montage time. Ariel hones his skills while Manuel remains the ultimate mentor. Is that the Kamagong theme I hear?
Lorenzo, now an underground Arnis fighter in the city, demolishes a hairy opponent named Balbon. Yes, that's his whole character arc, being hairy. He reports back to his boss, Mr. Guevara, Eddie Garcia, while enjoying a massage from multiple women because, villain perks. Lorenzo tries to bribe Maestro Sutero for the legendary Kamagong sticks. When money doesn't work, he tries threats. When threats fail, he resorts to cheap shots. Manuel steps in, beats him up, then walks away dramatically, only to get cheap shotted again with mud to the face. Classic Lorenzo. Maestro, realizing he's too old for this, entrusts the Kamagong to Manuel.
Meanwhile, a scammer named Chavez swindles locals with fake Saudi work visas. When the villagers demand their money back, a shootout ensues. Manuel's dad, Mung Rufo, gets shot and dies. And scumbag Chavez gets beaten and dies. Manuel then Ariel chase the bad guys, culminating in an action-packed beatdown. One of the goons is played by Bomber Moran. Yes, that's his real name. And yes, it's awesome. He's one of my favorite movie bad guys.
He was born October 18, 1944, Manila, Philippines. Unfortunately, died August 14, 2004 at the age 59 years old in San Francisco, California. Another noteworthy thing is the Balisong Goon. Remember him? Hey. Anyways, the goons were apprehended and whooped by the gang, and soldiers? Ass whooping of the day, though, goes to Belen, Mia Pratts, pummeling one of the goons with a rock almost to death, and seconded by Manuel's flying while hitting and leaving an X mark on Bomber's face.
Ariel, fueled by impatience and revenge, and recent coercing by Mr. Señor Beltran, Jaime Fabregas, tries to steal the Kamagong and run off to fight Lorenzo in the city. Manuel easily disarms him and gives him a reality check. Ariel storms off anyway. Training montage time. Ariel looks like a legit fighter now with his flashy moves and impressive workouts in his tighty-whities. While Lorenzo does bench presses. Not quite the same intensity.
Ariel versus Lorenzo. Round 1. Ariel dominates until villain trickery comes into play. Lights are tampered with, distractions abound, and Ariel fails the all-important flying hawk landing dry leaf move. Lorenzo capitalizes, and Ariel is beaten senseless. Lorenzo was about to finish off Ariel when Manuel crashes the party, snatches Lorenzo's arnese, and challenges him to a real duel at the top of the hill. He'll be waiting, day and night. But here comes my favorite quote of the movie.
Ipapaba kita sa burol ng isang talunan. Isang bangkay.
Back home, Ariel broods while dramatic slow version of Ako'y Magwawagi theme music swells. His lover, Belen, offers him her bibingka, literal and, metaphorical. He declines. Revenge first, dessert later. Hey, just kidding. She just tries comforting him. Manuel trains intensely, enduring brutal hits to his body, foreshadowing the inevitable punishment he's about to take. Meanwhile, Guevara decides to soften up Manuel before the duel because of a gossip about his boy Lorenzo being nervous. His goons ambush Manuel, forcing him through an arnese gauntlet. He's left beaten to a pulp. But no damages on that handsome face, though. Whew.
Fiesta time. The whole village gathers for the ultimate showdown. Dencio and Ariel are there. The mayor, the elders, Lorenzo, Manuel's lover and Belen, brooding Tasia, Mr. Beltran and his goons, Mr. Guevara and his goons, in a tent suite of his own. But where's Manuel? Just as people start losing hope, bam, here he comes, always dashing in his tight blue jeans, boots, and his half-unbuttoned shirt, like he wasn't beaten to a pulp the night before.
The fight begins. Lorenzo, being Lorenzo, cheats on the get-go, flashing him with the metal handles of his arnese. Manuel recovers, does his signature move, then destroys Lorenzo's arnese. The duel should be over, right? No. Lorenzo tries a sneak attack, but Ariel stops him. Manuel then gives Lorenzo a well-deserved, devastating final blow. Lorenzo, now blind, tumbles off the cliff to his doom. Well, more a mannequin. A real one. Sliding down the cliff. Tasia watches with satisfaction. Revenge complete.
The review.
A classic action flick with a killer 80s theme song performed by J.C. Bonnin himself. Nostalgia factor? Off the charts. Lito Lapid shines as the cool, unflappable action hero. J.C. Bonnin impresses with his athleticism and on-screen presence. Dencio Padilla provides comic relief, sometimes inappropriately.
Magaling ka ng gumiling, malaki pa yung bibingka mo.
Mga Dencio, ha?
Malulungkot. At baka itong edad kong ito paligayahin kita.
Si Mang Dencio talaga.
Belen,
Ano?
pakurot naman ako sa bibingka mo.
The 80s. The Saudi work visa subplot? Completely unnecessary.
More training montages would have been better. Lorenzo needed a better build-up. Final rating. We're giving this classic a 7.5 on the FilmBug scale. Rewatchability? A solid 10, of course. That theme song is the icing in the cake. And that's a wrap on Kamagong. If you enjoyed this episode, hit like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell for future reviews. All clips are used purely for educational and critique purposes under fair use.
We appreciate you, and until next time, Film Bugs, this is Lila and Lil Jimmy signing off.
Ako'y mag-body, ikaw itong samdamin. Ako'y mag-body, wakas mo'y hintayin.
Padala!